Episode 56 NG December 17, 2023. Chicago, Illinois Air Sensor Network in a neighborhood near industry. Gaza trees. Rise-up view, Americans who choose to burn wood for home heating, rather than using cleaner energy sources such as the bridge fuel natural gas, or the cleanest home heating alternatives of wind and solar energy sent to a smart electric grid extending to rural areas powering heat pumps that work to 40 degrees below zero, heavily subsidized by governments in 2024, should realize that they are choosing a dirty home heating source that mimics the unhealthy conditions of displaced persons in migrant camps heating with wood. Wood burning emits more PM2.5 and CO2 than coal burning. Wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 as natural gas. Wood burning emissions are 90% PM2.5, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Gaza. In Gaza, the fuel has gone, and now the trees are running out, the Guardian smoke released, especially as so many are living in overcrowded conditions. Burning wood is having an impact on their health. We are living with. In Gaza, the fuel has gone, and now the trees are running out. Short even of firewood, Palestinians are left burning solid waste as they struggle to cook and stay warm, but the pollution means respiratory illness is on the rise. December 16, 2023. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity and relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Wherever trees have been left standing in Gaza, they are being chopped down for fuel. When wood, furniture and doors included, cannot be found, Gaza's residents burn waste. To cook or heat themselves, people in the Palestinian enclave are burning what they can find in stoves they have made of clay, scrap metal or loose bricks to replace kitchen cookers or gas stoves. Israel's siege means it is no longer possible for people to find gas. Finding fuel is a difficult task and comes with health concerns about the wood smoke released. According to the World Food Programme, 70% of displaced people in southern Gaza rely on firewood for fuel. Finding wood for fuel in the colder weather is one of the biggest preoccupations people now have, and has been made more difficult by the dwindling number of trees. We cut any tree we find. We use it to cook, to eat, we heat water with it to wash and to drink. So it's a big task to go and get the wood. We go to the woods. It takes you hours, because you have to cut the trees, then you have to drag them through sandy land. There has been a rise in respiratory illness, with the World Health Organization reporting 129,000 cases of acute respiratory infections as of last week. About 13% of people are burning solid waste. People either buy wood or cut it from trees they find in the street and other public spaces, but they can tell that burning wood is having an impact on their health. We are living with sickness from the smoke of cooking. In Rafah, people are using whatever they can find as fuel, whether it is scraps of paper or olive trees. Instead of harvesting olives, we are cutting any tree we can find to survive. Those with their own trees have already cut them down. Most people wake up in the morning and try to find anything they can burn. Israelis throw letters from the sky telling people to evacuate. We burn the letters. Rozep view, Egypt needs to defend itself from Hamas entering Egypt and establishing the same genocidal military base in Egypt that Hamas has perpetrated on Israel. The story below, displaced Gazans put pressure on Egypt's border. Hundreds of thousands of Gazan Palestinians cannot cross into Egypt because the border is heavily fortified and Cairo is determined to keep it closed. December 15, 2023, https://www.newyorktimes.com/2023/12/world/middle east/gaza-border-rafah-egypt.html excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity and relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The reason Israel's heavy bombardment of Gaza for 9 weeks has not pushed hundreds of thousands of Gazan Palestinians into Egypt is that country's heavily fortified border and Cairo's determination to keep it closed. Israel has been pushing Gaza's 2.2 million residents south as its forces seek to destroy Hamas's military, affecting 85% of the Gazan population. Hundreds of thousands are living in Rafah, Gaza, along the border with Egypt. There are fears that the border with Egypt could be breached, allowing Gazan Palestinians to enter Egypt, destabilizing an Arab ally of the United States. Israeli officials have no intention of pushing Gazans into Egypt, and Egypt's government has long opposed letting Gazans seek refuge in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, fearing that Israel will never let Gazans return to Israel, and that Hamas and other militant groups, who are enemies of the government in Cairo, might set up operations in Egypt. Israel began issuing evacuation orders in December for Khan Yunis, a larger city 6 miles to the north. Toilets are scarce. Rafah is one city in Gaza that receives aid shipments. Israel launched its ground invasion after Hamas, which has ruled Gaza for 16 years, carried out a surprise assault on towns in southern Israel, killing about 1,200 people, mostly civilians. Since then, at least 15,000 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli airstrikes and other military operations in Gaza. Early in the war, Israel declared the entire northern half of Gaza an evacuation zone, sending Gazans south. Then Israel ordered the evacuation of parts of the south, too. Rafah's population was a few 100,000 before the war. Tens of thousands arrived in December, in Tel al-Sultan and al-Mawasi, waiting in line for food distribution on Wednesday. 75 years of conflict with Israel has left Palestinian leaders and Arab neighbors thinking that movement of Gazans into Egypt would become permanent. To protect Egypt itself, and to prevent entry of Hamas and other Gaza militants, Egypt has spent years fortifying its 7.5-mile border with Gaza. Over the last 10 years, Egyptian forces have flooded and destroyed a network of smuggling tunnels under the border and have strengthened the barrier that runs along it. In some places, that barrier now consists of a towering metal wall with fencing on top to keep people from climbing over it, in addition to underground barriers to prevent the digging of new tunnels. Between 2013 and 2015, Egypt evicted thousands of people and destroyed more than 3,000 structures along its side of the border to create a buffer zone. Since the current war began, the Egyptian army has added more fortifications, erecting sand barriers and stationing tanks and other military vehicles near the border. On the Gaza side, Hamas has largely abandoned border security. So far, Egypt's fortifications appear to be strong enough to keep Gazans from slipping over the border. But security at the crossing is light, and a large, angry crowd might be able to push through. New holes are opened in the barrier, either by errant Israel strikes or by Gazan militants or residents with explosives seeking a way out. In 2008, Hamas blew holes in the barrier and tens of thousands of Gazans rushed through, using their visit to stock up on everything from cigarettes to satellite dishes before heading back to Hamas territory in Israel. Razep view: it is unclear if the PM2.5 sensors used in Little Village, Illinois, are Purple Air PM2.5 monitors. It would be interesting to find out if the 5 to 15 sensors are Purple Air or not. Key quotes from the article follow: some of those pollutants can actually not only impact the respiratory system, but can impact the other organs in the body as well, said a professor of environmental and occupational health sciences at the University of Illinois Chicago, who is helping Little Village, LVEJO, with the project. She said that's why the data collection could be so useful. These sensors will be able to collect real-time, localized air quality data, which she said will be more representative of actual exposure conditions in the community. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's nearest air monitoring station is in suburban Cicero. Neither the city nor the state have deployed year-round air monitors in Little Village, Illinois. Chicago, Little Village. Air sensors to combat PM2.5 pollution in a neighborhood. https://www.wbez-org.translate.goog/60620a62ob3-a3 Little Village residents install air sensors to monitor neighborhood pollution. Excerpts edited by Razep for brevity and clarity and relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Residents say the city isn't doing enough to protect them from nonstop truck traffic and industry, so they're taking matters into their own hands. December 15, 2023. One resident helps install a sensor on his Little Village property to measure air quality. A woman carts a green fold-up wagon across Chicago's Little Village neighborhood. Part of her job is to lug around a mess of extension cords, tubes of zip ties, a computer, and several air monitors. In front of a 3-flat off Rockwell Street, the woman unloads her equipment and organizes a game plan to install all the pieces of a low-cost air sensor. This is all to build our community air monitoring network, said a community science coordinator for the Little Village Environmental Justice Organization, LVEJO. The majority Latino Southwest Side neighborhood is one of the most polluted in Chicago, according to the city's Little Village Industrial Corridor Framework report. Residents say public officials aren't doing enough to protect them, so they are taking matters into their own hands, monitoring air quality themselves with nearly $200 sensors. 5 are currently in operation with a goal of installing 10 in the neighborhood. Data collected could be used to understand the severity of pollution and inform environmental policy. One resident lives in the 3-flat and untangles an extension cord that runs through the alley to connect to the air monitor. "My lungs aren't so good anymore," the resident said in Spanish. "And more than anything, I think we should be safe from contaminants. I want there to be less pollution and fewer sick people." LVEJO's decision to develop a community monitoring network took shape after Chicago officials imploded the chimney of the old Crawford coal power plant back in 2020. The city failed to adequately notify residents of the demolition, and a massive dust cloud settled over parts of Little Village. Meanwhile, COVID-19 raged, adding more respiratory complications. That's reflected in the city's recently published environmental report and recently adopted Chicago Environmental Justice Index. The index produces scores for census tracts of the city using local environmental exposures and socioeconomic factors. The higher the score, the greater the environmental burden. Little Village's pollution burden ranked in the 90th percentile among Chicago's neighborhoods. Some of those pollutants can actually not only impact the respiratory system, but can impact the other organs in the body as well, said a professor of environmental and occupational health sciences at the University of Illinois Chicago, who is helping LVEJO with the project. She said that's why the data collection could be so useful. These sensors will be able to collect real-time, localized air quality data, which she said will be more representative of actual exposure conditions in the community. Neither the city nor the state have deployed year-round air monitors in Little Village. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's nearest air monitoring station is in suburban Cicero. Meanwhile, the city is still working with community partners to launch its own community air monitoring network. LVEJO plans to collect air quality data through the next year, and may even extend the study a second year. In the meantime, one resident can track the local air quality from his phone. "We have to try to make the environment better. One way to start is by cooperating," that one resident said. Headlines: California, San Francisco. Bay Area Air Quality Agency enforces burn ban amidst Spare the Air alert in San Francisco headline. San Francisco Bay Area enforces a wood-burning ban during a Spare the Air alert due to stagnant weather conditions. California, San Francisco. First winter Spare the Air alert of the season extended through Sunday. NBC Bay Area burning of wood or other solid fuel in the region. The Air District is issuing the alert because of a forecast for low. California, San Francisco. Friday Spare the Air alert extended through Sunday. News, Almanac Online. First-time violators of the wood-burning ban can take a wood smoke awareness course or pay a $100 fine, while subsequent violations are subject to. The Bay Area Air Quality Management District initially issued a Spare the Air alert for Friday, December 15. California, San Francisco. Spare the Air alert extended as Bay Area air quality reaches unhealthy levels. San Francisco Chronicle. Low temperatures and calm winds trap smoke from wood burning around homes and increase fine particulate pollution buildup indoors and outdoors. California, San Francisco. Spare the Air alert extends ban on wood burning through weekend. CBS San Francisco. A Spare the Air alert banning the burning of wood in the Bay Area has been extended through Sunday. California, San Francisco. Why the air in the SF Bay Area is so gross on Friday. SF Gate wood burning both indoors and outdoors illegal. Wood smoke is the #1 source of wintertime pollution in the Bay Area, said Juan Romero. California, San Francisco, East Bay. Spare the Air alert issued for Friday. Rainy weather to arrive this weekend. East Bay Times. As a result, it will be illegal for most residents to operate wood-burning stoves and fireplaces Friday while the alert remains in place, according to California, San Francisco, Napa Valley. Bay Area Spare the Air wood-burning ban extended to Sunday. The Napa Valley Register. A Spare the Air alert banning the burning of wood in the Bay Area has been extended through Sunday, according to air quality regulators. California, San Francisco, Palo Alto. First winter Spare the Air alert of season issued for Friday. No wood burning allowed. News Palo Alto Online wood burning allowed. Bay Area residents and businesses are not allowed to use fireplaces, wood stoves, pellet stoves, or outdoor fire pits. California, San Francisco, Redwood City. First winter spare the air alert of season issued for Friday, no wood burning allowed Redwood City Pulse. Wood burning allowed. Bay Area residents and businesses are not allowed to use fireplaces, wood stoves, pellet stoves, or outdoor fire pits. Bay City, Nevada. Open burning to continue through the end of the year. The Record Courier. Other sources include people burning wood for heat in stoves and fireplaces which are active during cold winter nights, and larger burns conducted. Canada. Volunteers breathe polluted air to test impact on brain. Yahoo News Canada. Yahoo News Canada. Wood smoke, cleaning products and cooking fumes, created by frying a pork chop in a fume cupboard. The pollutant levels are carefully measured. Canada, British Columbia, Pemberton. Concerns raised over Pemberton's air quality notification system. Peak News Magazine. Peak News Magazine. Smoky Skies Bulletins, SSB, are specific to wildfire smoke and are issued on a regional basis, Karn said. Wood smoke conditions in their local. Africa, Uganda. UWA accused of protecting charcoal burners in Queen Elizabeth Park. Daily Monitor. Unregulated charcoal burning activities. India, Delhi. Air quality slips into severe zone at 4 places in Delhi. The Statesman 2.5 and PM10 particles as per the data of the Pollution Control Agency. The PM2.5 and PM10 microparticles are those pollutants that are small. India, Hyderabad. Why are Hyderabadis in IT corridor waking up to burning eyes and itchy throats? Times Now. The city's western corridor is facing high PM2.5 and PM10 levels are found even in homes. The latest data reveals that areas like Kokapet have. Thailand. Bangkok. Air pollution in 44 areas of Bangkok worse than yesterday. Thai PBS World Mahachai Subdistrict, Mueang District, Samut Sakhon, 78.1 mg. Tags, Air Quality in Bangkok. Bangkok. PM2.5 dust. Thailand, Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai rolls out floral treats at 2 major flower exhibitions. Nation. Thailand. The highlights include a grand musical fountain show 3 times daily at 7 p.m., 7:45 p.m., and 8:30 p.m. 10 ways to safeguard. Thailand, Pattaya. Pattaya launches campaign to combat PM2.5 pollution. Pattaya Mail. The campaign aims to prevent the accumulation of PM2.5 dust particles, which are harmful to human health and the environment. PM2.5 pollution is